Today
Now
on
turn up.
Cracking Cases.
Hey everybody, I'll give some people a chance to get in here. I think Kay is in here. Hey Kay Shelton. Hey Diamond Pointing with Anxiety, how are you doing? Thank you so much for that. I just wanted to do a Q&A with everybody. I wanted to talk, get y'all's questions. It's Freestyle Friday. Usually try to do something like this. We'll talk about some things. I've got some information that I got cleared to talk about. And I think y'all will enjoy this. Thank y'all for popping over here. I didn't know when a good time was to schedule this, so I just went for it. Hey Heather. Hi Titan and Can. I think that Titan and Can. Yeah, I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. I hope everybody is recovered. Oh, you're not a Christian, you're a liar. Thank you. Appreciate that. From Karen Ann. I think it's ridiculous. It's okay though. Let's see here. Hey guys, if I have a mod in here, Heather, if you're in here, you can go ahead and block Karen AMB, Karen AM if you don't care, please. I'm not starting out with like that. Let me see, I'll do it. Let me get my phone out real quick and we'll take care of this. Straight out the gate today. Made sure that they got past the slow mode and everything. Hey everybody. We appreciate you guys, and I wanted to answer some questions and get, come over here and talk to you guys and let y'all maybe answer some questions and fill y'all in on some stuff and think about, see what you guys think with everything that's been going on. Okay, thank you, Heather. I appreciate that. And like I said, I don't care if you have difference of opinions. We'll talk about it. That's what today's for. I mean, so she ruined her chance to even be able to come in here and talk about things. I'm cool with people's difference of opinions. We're neutral. We listen to both sides of it. It's okay to have difference of opinion. But I mean, as long as you're knowing the facts before you have your opinion put out there. Oh, thank you so much. Hey, Sharon guy, I appreciate that. I'm actually going to be back on there tonight at 10 to talk to him. We boys want Allie inside of you. Hey, I guarantee you do. She's awesome. Hey, Carmel from Ireland. Anyway, so I just wanted to talk to you guys and get y'all's yeah, Jamie Howard, that's true. People just want to start drama. I just want to get y'all's opinion on some stuff and talk about it and maybe answer some questions. I got some good news to tell you about something that was in question all last week that everybody, I think there was a lot of questions about it. It was a certain area on Beach Creek. And I talked to Nita Diver about it. And, this is how efficient and how quickly they work. And we're going to talk about that. Yeah, I've seen that picture. Tina Simpson. That picture was actually an adult that they had blurred the face out of, if that's the picture that you're talking about. Another channel had put that up. I saw it. They blurred the face out, but that person with the blurred face was actually an adult and was actually proven last week. Yeah, thank you guys for joining. And like I said, yeah, there has been a lot of drama going on, and we're going to maybe talk about some things. And, if anybody wants to come up on here, we'll talk about it. Oh, no, not that one. Are you talking about the one at the thing in I think it was in Gray. It was an outdoor days in Gray, Tennessee. Yes, we saw those pictures, and those are being investigated by private investigators, and everything's people are looking into those. Oh, the game on. She said she's lovely, and we know you look after her. I really try to. She looks after me most of the time, to be honest with you. Jamie, how are you talking? You're. I know what picture you're talking about. Now I'm talking about the one with the guy that was creeping up on that bed and the face was blurred out. They actually, somebody had posted that in their community section, the real picture without the face blurred out, and it was either an older child, like 15, or an adult in that one, 15 or above. I don't know. I thought it was an adult, is from what I gathered from it today from just a few minutes ago. I don't know if I've seen that one yet. I know that I've been trying to keep up with everything. So let's just start out this way. I'll get on Facebook. Where is it on Facebook, Melissa Murphy? If you'll tell me where to look, I'll pull it up and we'll go over it. Yeah, Jamie, you know which picture I'm talking about now. Where the person's asleep in the bed and the creepy guy was creeping up behind it. Yeah. Oh, it's a trail cam pic. I will check in. Yes, yes, I will look into that right now, actually. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. No, I didn't see it. Yeah, exactly. I can't do handle the 5-hour streams and those long the long 4 or 5 hour. I can't keep up with all the information. I can't sit there long enough and listen to that. That's why I try to do about an hour maximum. And hey Tony, how you doing? Now I did see a picture. I didn't know it was a trail cam. Let me pull it up real quick and let me see if I can find it. Yeah, okay. So is it on one of the discussion groups? Yeah, one of you guys send me the pic in an email real quick and I'll check it out and I can pull it up and we'll talk about it. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Susan Marshall. There's not. And I'm gonna give you some good stuff today, because um this is the stuff that matters. Okay, so we'll go ahead and talk about it real quick and I'll get that out of the way, just to let you know, and then I'll check my email right here in a minute. And okay. Michelle After Dark did. Okay. It's right here, Melissa Murphy, going across the bottom of our screen. Crackingcases@gmail.com. Thank you. So, Need a Diver, back when that pond was in question, the big pond that people were saying off of Jody Sue's property, so they went and dove on that the days right when that was all in question. And he said, no, we're not going to talk about it for a few days. And he said, see how far it goes. Because they went out there immediately when it was in question and they looked and they got in there, they dove on it, um, and they cleared that area because it. Yeah, Lisa Mouse, the fast forward button, my favorite. But they went out there, and if you know what pond I'm talking about, it's the one that was in question on all this property that's saying it was off of Jody Sue's property. I don't think that pond is part of her property at all, but it's on Beach Creek, and it was a big pond out there, and that place was cleared. Um, I think that who was I went on, and they questioned me about it on No Thanks Investigates, and Don B was on there, and I answered them. I said I didn't know where it was exactly, but I did, and they were working on that. So it has been cleared. Everything has been looked into out there. Need a Diver went out there immediately days ago. Let's see, when was that? Yeah. So yeah, at the beginning of the week, they went out there. Let me check my email real quick, and I'll pull this picture up, and we'll go over it real quick. and see what that is about. Give me 1 second, guys. I can talk to you as I do this, but I won't be able to see what anybody's saying. Okay. I have not got anything yet. If you put an N in cracking case or a G at the end of cracking, it won't go to us. So let me see here. Make sure you spell it completely, or I haven't received anything from you guys yet. Unless it went into a junk file or something. Let me see. Make sure. Yeah, I've not got anything from anybody yet, guys. Sent to email. Yeah, make sure you put it in there just like this here. At the bottom of the screen. Yeah, I just got a call one night. I was only on there for about maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It was late at night. I don't usually get on panels. I don't do that, but they called and wanted questions. They were asking questions about the footprints that were found out on Beach Creek. They were asking about that pond, and that pond, there it is. I just got it now. So we'll pull it up now. Yeah, okay, there it is. Wow, I don't know. We can let me share a screen and we'll see if I can. Okay, yeah, that G will get you every time. Let me pull this up and we'll talk about this. I don't know. This is the first time that I have seen this. Okay. So this is the picture in question. Let me zoom in on it a little bit. And so this was taken in a trail cam. And when was this taken? Hold on before you answer. Does anybody know when this was taken and where it was taken? Yeah, that's a big deal. Thank you for sending that to us, and I will send that. Yeah, I'm sure whoever found this picture needs to report this over the TBI immediately. Um, I will make sure that will be sent over there too. I'm sure it has been, but we're gonna make sure and double check, and I will send it to the correct people to have this looked into. This was taken in West Virginia. West Virginia trail cam just posted on Facebook an hour ago. Okay, thank you. Her hair is pretty long though. That's the thing I will say. I don't know how quickly her hair would be able to grow. Uh, I don't think it would be. No, I don't have any idea who that is or who. Yeah, her hair is pretty long, and it looks like it goes all the way down her back. So that's right here. If you can see my mouse right here, her hair goes down this long. But that's definitely something that needs to be reported to the authorities there in that area. He looked right at that trail cam. That is her. You believe her hair would be that long down her back like that? I think where it was still short, I was thinking more at maybe shoulder level or at maybe chin level. Where I cut my children's hair, my daughter's hair, the shortest we've ever cut it is probably right here to the shoulder length, and her hair grows pretty fast. She has thicker hair, so I don't know that her hair is pretty long for that. But thank you for bringing that. I don't know where this came from. This sent to the email, and this was put into one of the groups on Facebook. But thank you. And if it's a trail camera, then you guys, if it came out of West Virginia, maybe report that to West Virginia law enforcement, please, and make sure that, yeah, oh, it looks like Frank Light. You will see. Well, I will make sure that that I send that over to the correct people and make sure that that is looked into. Exactly, Susan Marshall. That's what I think. I was going to put this up right here. Yeah, I believe it would be the same length, or just maybe a little longer, where she is younger, her hair grows faster. Um, yeah, I'll make Green Springs, West Virginia. Thank you. Well, I mean, and it's okay. I mean, we went over it, and yeah, it definitely does look suspicious. It looks like he got caught in the trail cam. It could have been one of his trail cams, and he knew that it was there and looked over at it at that time. But it was good to go over and to look at it. Hey, good to see you guys too. Thank y'all for coming in here, and sorry for popping this on y'all a little early. I didn't know if everybody was going to be Black Friday shopping. Um I don't necessarily partake in Black Friday shopping. Uh my wife used to back in the day, but that's not our thing. I don't think that is Frank Light, but it would be good to send it over and make sure that it's not. I don't think it is him, but it's definitely something to be looked into. That's right, Susan Marshall. If it's already out there, there's nothing wrong in looking at it. That's very true. Thank you. Um, yeah, and everything should be investigated, Jamie. That's true. Thank you. Because there might be something to that. Maybe it was a different person, different things. Hopefully, whoever um, put that out there reported that to the West Virginia Police Department or state police, county police of Green Spring, West Virginia, and put that out there, or gave that to them so that they could look into that. Yeah, I stay away from it too. Thank you. I have Amazon anytime I want it, so that's what I'm done with going out and dealing with the public like that. Oh, oh, it's on Michelle After Dark site. Good. Thank y'all for letting me know all that. So yeah, back to the pond. Let me see if I can show you. Um, well, I can't. I can't show you which one it is, but I can tell you that the pond in question that they were talking about was cleared, and another one was cleared. That that was uh, that was out on Beach Creek, in the Beach Creek community. There's been other ones. They're really doing a good job. They're going down there and they're knocking on doors and they're just asking, can we come in? They get permission by Hawkins County Sheriff's Office to go in and do what they're doing, diving. Maybe we can have Jason back on sometime soon to talk a little bit more about that. Those guys are really trying to put in the work. I really appreciate them. I hope y'all caught. If you guys did not catch, um, when was it? Wednesday night show with Chris from First to Respond. The drone services that he does, UAS. Here, let me make sure. Y'all go check that video out. He has amazing, amazing technology, and he's doing big things. He did a lot for Summer's case. I think he's continuing to do stuff with Summer's case. He's done a lot with Tegan Dougherty's case. We're still waiting to hear back on him and to give y'all a little. No, can't do online stores anymore. Oh yeah, that's how. That's oh yeah. Karma Camille, that's me. That's how I feel. But yeah, I mean, so yeah, you guys needed to check him out. He was really good. I thought maybe it was bad timing when we did his show since it was the night before Thanksgiving. A lot of people didn't get to see it. So if you guys don't care to share that video out, let people see what he's doing. He is doing awesome. And if you guys got to go back and watch and see some of that technology he's using, uh, it is astounding. I was like, this is the stuff that needs to be put out there, and people need to be seeing that technology. I mean, he was passing a truck going, what did he say, 40 or 50 miles per hour with that drone, and you could see in the grass I mean, you could see where vehicles had turned around in the grass and everything at nighttime. I mean, it really shows everything. Yeah, Jamie Howard, please go watch that. That live was amazing, and I figured people would be traveling, and yeah, 40 miles per hour twister. That's right. I knew it was 40 or 50, but I'm sorry. First to deploy, uh, UAS response team. That's his company is. His name is Chris. Go check that out. You'll get a lot of information out of that one. Let's see here. What is Yeah, I can show it again real quick if Judy Johnson. This was the picture that they were talking about right here. Uh, and let me go over here and zoom in. This was in, I think, what did they say? Green Spring, West Virginia. Uh, this little girl's hair is, I can tell it's her hair because it's long because it comes down almost to her back, or either that's a jersey number, but I think I think that's hair right there because it goes out right here. But still, again, um, that is a picture that needs to be looked into. He's out in the middle of this, I don't know where, it's a trail cam, but yeah, that definitely needs to be looked into. And she's holding her face and looks like she's either crying or something. She could have been just wiping the sweat off her eyes. Who knows? But I mean, maybe that needs to be turned over. Maybe that there is something to that. So I would encourage whoever posted that in West Virginia or got that photo to. It does kind of look old, but you at the same time, guys, game on. At the same time, that is shot in black and white, so we don't know when that's necessarily from. Yeah, and she's got little tennis shoes on. Um, sorry, I was reading and didn't show it. He has long sleeves on. She's in a nightshirt. Yeah, it is probably around this time of year because it is cold here on the East Coast right now. It does look like numbers on a jersey, but then again, it looks like her hair is twisted out at the bottom. But maybe you can't see that where I can, where I zoomed in closer. Maybe let me zoom in a little bit closer and see if you guys can see that. Right here at the bottom. I don't know. That might not be her hair, but her hair is definitely past her shoulders here somewhere. Um, so, but that is something to be looked into because her face is not being shown. So definitely, I will pass that over to the correct people. Hey, we see you. Yeah, and send that directly to FBI as well. But it is, I mean, whoever posted that on social media needs to take that to law authorities for sure. It does. See that? Did you see once Melissa Murphy where when I zoomed in, it did look like her hair was pretty long and curled out down there at the bottom. But I'm not 100%. Nobody is. I mean, cameras play tricks on everybody all the time. So I mean, it could be something else. Yeah, thank you guys for sending that over here. There is another photo showing her face. Kit and Caboodler says. If y'all can find that one, send that over to me, email too, and I will make sure it gets to the right people. I made sure to look at that before I put it out there because I don't want to show a minor's face on here. Um, that that is yeah, it's a big no no. So I made sure not to do that on the first one. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know. I will have to look into that one, Ralph. Uh, Likens. I don't think that I would be able to show that one where she's a minor and her face. I don't know. I'm not gonna take that risk and do that for her safety. But I will if you email me if somebody has those pictures of her. If you will email it to me, I will send it to TBI and see if she's look if they recognize her, and I will send it to people that can look into that. It has the name of the person. Music City Mom. If you'll email that to me, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. She's been a big help too, guys. And thanks to Natasha, thanks to Heather, thanks to all the mods that we have on here, Mr. Positive. They do a really good job. But let me let me send a text real quick and see if it's okay if I can show. I already know the answer to that. So let's okay. So the pond is one that they were talking about was on Jody Sue's property. It's the one that was in the big rumor thing saying that they found remains out of. Um, that police were all uh, on Beach Creek and Ben Hill Road surrounding the place. That's the one that was in question. The divers went out there, dived on it, made sure there was nothing to it, just to be thorough, which you have to commend them for that. They did a amazing job. Went out there and covered that immediately. Um, I think that no, see, there's, I think that um, they really are taking this seriously. And you got Chris, on the other hand, with the drone, with all his drones and the things that he can do. I think that he's going to be doing some things more with this case now that the leaves are falling. If you guys please go watch that live, and we covered all of that. My mind is mush right now because I've had so much information going through it the past few weeks. But he gives a lot of good valuable information of what just exactly he can do with his drones, um, especially since the canopy is not going to be so thick, so it might not be so great for ground searching, but from the sky they can see down. He can pick up colors that are on a petal. So if say it was in the springtime and flowers were blooming, uh it could pick up the color purple on a petal. It did do that, and it was throwing his whole system off. It was amazing the information that he was talking about. We had Twyla from EquiSearch was in here in this live in the chat. She was answering questions. So if you guys go check that out, she. Okay. Yeah, I got you. If you're listening on here, if you just text me, yeah, you know who I'm talking to. Yeah, I got you. Uh, so he's talking about that with the leaves falling. They picked up a pink, I think it was a pink ball up on by from his drone, and he was way up in the air. He held that for a souvenir because he puts in that color. He said once they go into the system on the computer of all the footage they pulled, they can pick up something as small as an inch. Um, on that computer program of any colors. Here it is. Natasha, thank you for coming in here. I appreciate that. This is Chris, first to deploy. This is his link. And you guys can go check him out. This is the video we did with him. Thank you, Natasha. I appreciate you coming over here. You'll have to go back to the beginning. Let's see here. Oh, thank you, Lisa Mounts. Did you see that one I did with Hidden Existence? I'm supposed to be over there again tonight and doing a live with them again. We're going to get into more with the David Pilatus stuff, the missing 411. I really have been, I really appreciate those guys for reaching out to us. Uh, even from BFO channel to Hidden Existence, those people have been awesome because they don't just cover those things; they cover all sorts of stuff, and they're really awesome. Thank you, Sharon, guys. Thank you guys so much. So yeah, I'm going back on there tonight at 10 o'clock. But yeah, we're going to be covering a lot more stuff as we go on. I'm trying to get an interview with some information with somebody from Trace Labs. Schedules are not meeting up. They are busy. I'm trying to get that information just so I can maybe share some more with you about that. But yeah, yeah, we're going to keep going over that stuff. Sorry, I'm trying to read some of the stuff in the chat so I don't miss anything, guys. Yeah, I'm going to try to get Jason and Caleb from Need a Diver back on here, and we're going to talk more about some stuff that they've been doing. Because now that they're clearing some areas, maybe they'll talk about them more and talk about just how cold that water is and what they're being able to find in there. They have that their underwater ROV, I think is what they call it, with the cameras on it and the lights that they can turn on, and they film under the water too. Uh, they are they're an amazing group of guys, and if they can find a gold wedding band uh, in the lake at the bottom of the lake, they can do amazing work. Oh, hey Emma. Yeah, I got your email, and I thought, did I answer you back? I believe I did. Thank you for sending that over to me. So, what was I was getting into something cool. Y'all remind me. I'm a little off track today. What was I talking about right before I started looking at that chat? Um, oh, about the pond. So when that rumor went through that law enforcement was combing Ben Hill Road and all that, that was the pond in question. So they went out there and they made sure to clear that. I think what he talked about, the only thing they saw out there was a deer carcass. Um, that's what they found on the bank over there, was a deer carcass. Which is not. It's not. That's not uncommon to find around here. They're everywhere. Especially if a deer does get hit by a car and it runs back somewhere and it dies, or if it's been shot and it's just been wounded and it goes somewhere and it falls down, and that's where it dies too. But seems like a lot of hot air. Mary Young, I can say that I'm not going to put the question up there, but guys in the chat, if you see what I do not, but I think it is. I think that there's a lot of things that need to be looked into there. That's what I will say with a lot of that information from that person. Let's see here. So yeah, what I was talking about with David Pilatus and what he does with the missing 411, the missing Can-Am project. I have sent emails out. I'll go ahead and tell you guys this. I have sent them emails and I've reached out to them to see what they think. David Pilatus did a live on his missing Can-Am project 4 months ago about Summer Wells, and he covered a lot of stuff, and he never covers a live case that's open. He said that what is he calls them his profile points is what he calls, and he said that everything to do with Summer's case falls under one of his profile points, which is that that she was near a large body of water that day. You have weird weather, that have comes near, but which we hit a high heat index that whole week when she went missing. There was some more things that I had wrote on my whiteboard, and my little girl came in here and erased my whiteboard to draw on it, so I don't have them all. Maybe I can pull those up real quick and we will talk about those. But his profile points, he went over her whole case, and what he was talking about was the things that she uh, that made him talk about her case while it was an active investigation. And he said that this with her aunt being missing and everything else. If y'all haven't checked out the Missing 411 or seen the things that he's put out, you can actually watch Missing 411 The Hunted on YouTube for free. And it's a wealth of information. It's just cases that sometimes don't have an explanation to them, and if people that are experienced hunters that have been out into the woods their whole entire life, taught safety classes, took people on hunting expeditions, just disappear, and they never find a trace of them. Or maybe they go back a year and a half, 2 years later, and places that they have thoroughly searched, their boots will be there or their backpack will be there. It's just some wild stuff. And he is ex law enforcement. David Politis is. He is accredited author and researcher. He really puts the work in. And the area that where Summer went missing is a hot spot for these things to have happened. There has been two other children, which one child was another little girl back in the 1950s that went missing 5 miles away from Summer's house. She actually turned back up. I think it was 8 to 10 miles away in a short period of time. Thank God, but she walked out of the woods, and they don't know she was there picking berries beside her mother, and then she was gone when her mother turned around. It's just some crazy stuff, and it is very interesting, and it makes you think. But not only do they just do that, the Missing Can-Am Project is a group of SAR, search and rescue experts, retired law enforcement, and they will come in and look at a case for you and let you know what they think, and they come in and bring their expertise and their groups in. They're amazing. Yeah, we will talk about Mary Murphy. You want to talk about Jackie Dobbs, and we can talk about. Is that who you're talking about? Yeah, I just saw Dusty Love put it in the next one down. I've got my chat on slow mo, guys, so I'm catching a little stuff a little bit later than y'all are typing it. But I'm trying to keep up with you. I talked to them yesterday for Thanksgiving. Candace had called us last night, and she said it was a rough Thanksgiving because she not with her not having the children there, and we talked to her for a while last night, and I knew they were having a hard evening last night. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So not only is Jody Sue not living on the property across from the wells now, they left. I don't know. I don't think anybody's staying up there anymore. But the person, so you have Jody Sue's property and you have Jackie Dobbs' property right beside it. Which, to my knowledge and the people that I talked to, he has not been back since this happened. He bought this property, and he came down here. He camped for a week till the 14th, supposedly. He was actually, I don't. It might have been longer than a week. We know that he changed his appearance. We know that he had shaved his head, and his beard completely looked different. But there's pictures that I can't show because there's been a stink been rose about them by the person who owns those pictures. But he had shaved his head and his beard prior to the 18th when he said he did it. When he said new look for a new start. But in those pictures of when they had their dispute of him camping over his property line and being over the property line, he had already. Yeah, let's see, Susan Marshall. I can't blame him not coming back. Mine, do you know who was selling that land? It was sold by a real estate agency at that time. So he bought that from a real estate agency. They were selling off all that property. I actually, on a show, on a live, I showed the pictures from the real estate agency and what they were. And from the pictures that they showed, you could see the yellow bus and the Wells house. It was taken in the fall time when all the leaves had fallen off the trees. I can't remember what live that was on. It's been a while back because I've been talking about Mr. Jackie Dobbs for a long time since I first started this channel. And we showed a lot of good information, and it was shown in the property in by the real estate company that the pictures were looking right at the bus and the Wells house. That's something that needs to be looked into. Um, and I believe it has been, but he has also said he's been cleared, and that's false. He has not been cleared. Nobody has been cleared. He said that he had talked to law enforcement, FBI in person once, and then it changed to twice, and then he said that he was talked to TBI over a phone call. Um, so I don't think that's close to being cleared. I don't think they're going to clear anybody till, probably after summer's found. Let's see here. Okay, so Little Miss Sunshine, I went over those at the beginning of this. I showed them. You might have to go back to replay. I showed them twice, actually, those pictures that you're talking about. No, okay. Okay, so yes, the PIs, they are they are not our PIs. They are PIs for summer. And you can send over tips that they will help you walk through to the TBI as well as investigate it. And I will get that information for you right now. And it is let me mute this 1 second. Hold on, guys, and I'll be right back, and I'll put that information out here in the chat for you. Okay, guys. So, yes, if you would like to give them information to the PIs, it's summerwellstips@charter.net. Um, let's see here. I'm putting it here in the chat for everybody. There it is right there. That goes. So if you have any tips to help with Summerwell's case, they will help you. There is people now that I want to explain this before it goes haywire again. Um, that there is people that do not wish to talk to law enforcement for whatever the reason may be. They will walk them through and take the information and give it to the TBI for them or local law enforcement. That's what they do. They are licensed private investigators in the state of Tennessee. Did I put chatter? Sorry, I'll put it back in. It's charter. Sorry, guys. I was trying to type fast. Here, let me fix that. And if you guys heard, if you want to watch and if you want to go back and watch that episode with Chris from First to Deploy and Twyla from EquiSearch is in there, they will explain to you as well that these are the licensed private investigators over the Summerwells case. and they are local to Tennessee. Here's their. Let me see if I type that one out correct that time. There you go. Yeah, and this is true, Patty Barnett. Somebody knows out there. Somebody knows what happened, or somebody saw something. That is the I just fixed it, Music City Mom. It's right here. I put it back in there the right way. Um, but somebody does know what happened. But that's the problem we have. Uh, thanks, Gonzo. I appreciate that, man. And guys, y'all bear with me, man. I've had a lot of information. We've been dealing with Tegan's case. We've been keeping in contact with his father and what's going on with his case. We've been dealing with Summer's case and other cases that we're continuing to work on. And sometimes when I get overloaded, my brain don't fire off the correct way. So I'm trying my best here. Thank you guys for bearing with me. Let's see here. But somebody does know down there. And but that's what we're fighting against. You're in a community where people aren't going to talk on each other. They're all related. They're all family. I think that sooner or later somebody will say something, and it will help. As far as what I know, Mary Paul, about Tegan, he is still in custody. Uh, the father told me that he is not in a detention center as of now. It's a program of the detention center, and he is the only kid that it's a housing situation that they hold 3 children at a time, but he is the only child in there right now, and they are trying to get his situation figured out. Yeah, thank you. And on and on. This is true. You can also leave tips for John Walsh. John Walsh takes tips. Private investigators take tips. They are trying to help with the case. And let's talk about something. If y'all saw, if you saw the live we did with Chasing Truth that night when we covered the information that went out about what happened at the behavior panel, we said a potential reason that she could have been upset. I saw that other channels were just now talking about this. The behavior panel confirmed everything that me and Chasing had told everybody that night. Me, Chasing, and Allie had told everybody that night. And we tried to give that to y'all immediately. And then the behavior panel came out. When was it? When did I show that information? Tuesday night of this week. This, we tried, we have tried to verify this stuff 100%, and we got. I mean, people. I think Jenna went around and said that she was the one that called Candace. We weren't talking about Jenna. Jenna came over to our chat and confirmed that she was the one that made the call of the potential sighting in Georgia. We weren't going to say her name. Even though we knew who it was, we weren't going to say it. She did that on her own accord. And then she went and told everybody on other channels that she called Candace and let her know about the information that it wasn't Summer that was potentially cited in Tennessee. That's not true. The call was made to Candace at the behavior panel by the private investigators to whoever while they were filming. Whoever was holding Candace's phone during that filming. We covered that. We told you that exact information. And then Jenna went and made a big stink about it on other channels. That's okay. She can say whatever she wants to. I brought you the facts and the truth about it. These PIs went and took that case took that tip very seriously. They called local law enforcement in Georgia, had them go investigate it while they were packing, getting ready to go to Georgia to potentially pick up Summer and bring her back. And it turned out it wasn't. I think a child got saved out of a situation she was in Georgia. She was taken out of the home. I think there was some problems down there, but there was still something good that happened because I think the child was going through a lot of bad problems down there. Yes, and there is a new video on the Wells channel about it. I saw that right before I went on. I didn't even know about it till about 10 minutes before I got ready to go live. But they talk about it on there. I mean, everything that happened, the behavior panel uh, verified it. The only thing that I do have an issue with is I believe when the behavior panel heard and they admitted to it, that they should have took into account that information, regardless how they felt, that Candace dealt with that information, regardless how they felt. They they say we don't know what people are thinking. We know how their body language is, and regardless how they felt, Candace took the information that should have been brought up and said, "Hey, she got information that there was a potential sighting of her daughter, and then was found out that it was not her." Uh, you know, besides the point of what they were doing with their interview, I think that would have been fair to at least put that information out. Yeah, exactly. And we see you. We do believe him. We're not saying anything bad about Jenna. She did the right thing. See something, say something. That is true. But but the only thing we are saying is that when she's saying that she confirmed that information with Candace, that's not true. That's not accurate. We were never saying anything about her. She came over here in our chat. Then she said we turned our comments off for that video, which is not true. I turned them off for an hour because of there was a dispute happening between people in there, and I gave it a chance to calm down. And then I turned it back on. Yeah, I do believe this as well. I believe that you sometimes when we get dealt information, it takes a while for it to sink in. Maybe, just maybe, and I'm not saying everybody's the same, and I'm not saying uh, one way or the other, but sometimes it takes a little bit for information to sink in and for you to think about it. Hey, I was just my emotions were high because I thought that my daughter was potentially found, and then your emotions sink because it's found out that it's not. How do you react to that? I don't know. Yeah, this is on Roots Anna Banana. I appreciate this right here. There was a speeding yellow vehicle when first cop car was en route on 615. That is very true. We do know this is a fact too. Law enforcement did not go out and put a roadblock up till 8 days later. So so I don't know what they were what consisted of that, but I know that maybe that car should have been stopped going out of there. But at the same time, we only woulda, coulda, shoulda, woulda, coulda, shoulda, woulda, coulda, shoulda done better. Yeah, 8 days later, then a roadblock was put up out on Beach Creek. Yeah, that's that. Thank you, Wanda Satterfield, for saying that. There is uh, way too much drama, and it should be consistently about Summer. That's what we've tried to say to everybody on here. It's not about how we feel, our opinions. It's not about what it's about Summer right now. That's why the information we put out is things that we can do to help find her, and the things that are happening to find her. And we already know that social media can work if we use it correctly to find these children. Tegan was found. Lexi Dykes was found by social media. That's just from our platform. I'm not talking about the other platforms that have the power to make a difference out there. The oldest boy is not with his brother. I can't. There is a Pepsi Girl. There is a gag order on the boys, and there you can't talk about them. That's why nobody's talking about that. And H is still a minor, so you can't tell his location either. That's that's just not. You can't do that. Now you can talk about like unless there's a gag order set on all of them. Yeah, exactly. I'm a hoe to you. There no reason to not act immediately. And if y'all heard Chris from First to Deploy the other night, he says it is crucial that he and with his technology can get out there within the first 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes, or when they call this out. Because if he can get his drone in the air, or what was in the first hour, sorry, it's the golden hour. It's the same thing with like medical rescues and stuff. With you can get him out there. He can pick up heat signatures. He can pick up so much, but also his drone technology can also say somebody has been buried for many years. That he can look at the lush vegetation that grows up from in an area. Say if there's a open field and there's an area that has a lot of lush vegetation, there's a good chance that there might be something buried under there that made the soil fertile, which he can pick up on. It's amazing stuff, guys. Please go check out that video and see just what he's working with. And we're working on getting Twyla from EquiSearch to maybe come on and talk. And we will I think that will be a good one. That's right. Talk is cheap. Action speaks volumes. That's true. Very true. Thank you for saying that. Let's see here. Let me see if make sure I didn't miss anything. I'm trying to answer everybody's stuff. Oh, thank you. Oh, you went and subbed to the Can-Am Missing Project. Please check out what they do. They're amazing, and they're putting cases out there, missing cases daily. They have 2 and 3 at a time. I hope that I can get to that ability to do that kind of research. They have a team with them that they cover. I emailed out to them, and I'm hoping to hear something back. I think it's going to be good. Oh, thank you, Patty Barnett. I appreciate that so much. We appreciate that. And I can promise you this, guys. We're gonna try to get back out there and do some more searching, ground searching. Soon, my wife will be off work for quite a few days soon, and we're gonna go hit it hard and try to just check places, even checking it twice, 3 times. Yeah, we have been freedom valor. That I can 100% promise you that we are doing that. There was a property that we went on that there were buildings. I can't say what kind were on it, but when we had permission by the property owner to go, we checked in every, even if it's a nasty place like a porta potty or anything, you have to check those. It's not always nice, but but it has to be done. Oh, thank you, Brenda was here. Yeah, we can discuss Dusty Love. We can discuss his interview with Chris McDonough. That's fine. Yeah, and I honestly, there's a lot in there. There's a lot in there, and I know exactly what you're going to talk about. I believe. Let's see here. Okay, so Jamie Howard, let's talk about that too. Uh, while while we're waiting for that other question. So law enforcement is saying no evidence abduction or foul play. So what are they thinking happened? They said no evidence of abduction, but they can't rule it out. They said or foul play. Now they didn't say they couldn't. They didn't say that they weren't ruling that out. Now if you go to our community section, go exactly what Sheriff Lawson said from his lips to that interview with the local news. So Jackie, I want to answer your question too. So let me try to keep these in order so I can think about all these. Thank you, Rhonda Owens. I appreciate that a lot. let's see here. Let me go back. Okay, so what I'm thinking is happened, that they're thinking, is that she walked off, because if we say no foul play, if it's an accident, if it's an accident and you move a body, then that's foul play, and you don't call law enforcement immediately. So if they're saying there's no evidence of foul play, no evidence of abduction, so what does that leave? That she walked off into the woods. If that's the case, yeah, I have nothing. Be careful, Renee. I don't to be careful not to say anything about against other creators over here. We don't allow bashing of anybody here, and that's not nothing against you. We just got to be careful what we say about any other creators or the parents or anybody. Just don't allow bashing. We treat everybody with respect. If anybody has a difference of opinion, that's okay. We'll answer it. Yeah, Machaka, that's true too. It just means that they don't have a lead. And thank you, Rhonda Owens, again for that. Um, that's a big deal though. So if they're saying she walked off, and we have evidence that we know of the footprints and the distance that they are, okay, from what the property owner is that spoke out, that's public knowledge, that's public information. When he came out at the beginning of this, he said his property, okay, so his property is 0.4 of a mile from the Wells house. And then you have the other footprints was 3/4 of a mile, which is 0.8 of a mile. That's how far the footprints are. That's how far she would have had to have traveled by herself. And the footprints, McBro, the tip line, it's an email that you would send a tip in. They will live your information there, and they will call you back. Or they will email you back one. They will talk to you and they'll get that information. I will, like the morning, I will address all that, what I know about it, about the billboard, but I'm trying to answer these questions real quick, and I will address that. So, okay, we have the footprints leading off. I am getting slammed here. I knew it was going to be a lot of questions, but I didn't think I would get this far behind. Okay. Yeah, freedom, valor. So this is what they're saying, though. This is what they're saying. That's what they're leaving it as she walked off. I don't necessarily believe that she walked off, but that's what the evidence is showing, because of the footprints where her scent hit. There was not a trail to follow. It was just her scent was there, and then it stopped right on the footprints. I do know that they were taken care of. The prints were looked into and handled correctly as far as everything law enforcement would do with a footprint. Yeah, and that might be, 77-3 Raven 73. I believe that might be something there with that. And so I mean, but I don't think it's as long as what people are thinking either. Let me see here. I don't want to miss anybody's questions, guys. Not horse prints. It was Summer's footprints. Dusty Love. If this is the first time you guys are hearing about it, this was put at the very beginning. Now, you're talking about horse prints as far as now Jackie Dobbs on his YouTube. Now, this is total speculation, but we'll talk about it. So he had posted a post about moonshiners back in the day putting a cattle or horse hoof print or horseshoes on the bottom of their shoes when they walked through an area, because it would look just like a horse had traveled through there instead of a human to put shoe prints. Now that was, I saw that when he posted that. Well, I got to go through all that information back at the beginning, and I thought that was wild. But yeah, those shoes, Susan Marshall. That's exactly what I caught on to her drift right there. Let's see here. Why was Don not upset about what, Pepsi Girl? Let me go back here and I'm gonna try to catch up on everybody's stuff. Let me read here. Yes, I did. DD cares. I did tell everybody. I did tell them that everybody said Happy Thanksgiving to them, and I did cover that they called us last night, and well, Candace called us last night, and she said that they had had a rough Thanksgiving. It just wasn't the same without any of the children there, and I felt for them. No evidence of doesn't mean it didn't happen. It just means that there is no evidence. Thank you, Arietti. That is very true, and I'm glad you brought that up. Okay, it means that's very true. I want to put this up here. Cadaver dogs found no evidence of foul play at the house/cars. If an abduction perp left no trace. It's very true too. Very true too. So basically, what they're saying is they have nothing. They have her footprints, her scent there. I think there's other areas. Well, we have the scent at the bottom of the driveway, then we have the footprints and the scent, but there was no path to each footprints. That it was just her footprints were there. There was a scent on them, and there was nothing. And then they found it up behind a ridge, or going up on top of a ridge, 3/4 of a mile away. Yeah, I've watched The Scientific Skeptic. He's pretty good. Let me catch up here on here at the bottom. Now we're talking about Hammond's brother. Chris drives a red. Okay, so Tony Hammond's. They were saying that he potentially was spending a lot of time down in that area, and that there was a car. All that information was passed over and has been looked into. I know that the private investigators have took this seriously as far as and with law enforcement, and have looked into all those things. But just can't speak on it. When we're allowed to talk, when they release anything, they'll tell us, and then we give it right to you guys. We're not even privy to it till they feel like that it's okay to talk about it. Okay, so Anna Banana, I will answer your question right there too. We're looking into that too. I'm not going to put the question up there, but if you watch the chat, I know if you know what I'm saying. Let's see here. Kathy 117. Yes, this is exactly. I'm glad you said that, Kathy, because this is what I felt like too. If you have just her scent being set down, they're following her scent. Nobody else's scent, not a perpetrator's scent, even if there's not a footprint from a person, from an adult footprint. What if somebody was carrying her, sat her down? That's a long way to walk with that much weight. You would have to set her down for a minute. And the property owner that actually talked out about the footprints on his property and said that there was that law enforcement told him if he talked precisely about it and tell the whole facts, everything. He said that that it was behind an area of a hill behind where they found the print that they couldn't have seen from the house. But he did, and that's why nobody saw anything. So whoever had traveled this way, if they were carrying her, now this is pure speculation as of what the evidence is right now. So if we do speculate and say somebody was carrying her, they knew that there was no trail cams in certain areas, and they knew the area. So that is very that was good. Thank you for bringing that up, and I wanted to talk about that. There's too much. That's what we're saying. There's too much out there, and too many weird people that were involved around Summer's case to look just at the parents, and that's what we're trying to open everybody's mind up. maybe if we start paying attention to everything else and the other things that were weird in this situation, that maybe we could get a lot farther with her case than where we're at right now. Hey, Tammy, how are you? Denatali. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I want to put this up. Now, people say that their kids would never do anything, but we know for a fact, saying that their kids would never walk off. We know for a fact kids do things all the time when they get a wild hair up their butt. They will do what they want to, and sometimes it's not, for no rhyme or reason. They just take off and walk off. There was somebody I knew. Well, my little brother, when I was little, he crawled into. My mom was having a yard sale, and he crawled into the bottom part of a cabinet she was selling out in the yard and was hiding in it. And we looked for him. My dad and I, we were riding around the neighborhood and everything. We thought he was gone, and we lived in a big city, a dangerous city at that time when I was growing up. And the only way we found him was coming back and walking past that cabinet and hearing him snicker and laugh. Uh, so I mean, and he never did stuff like that before. He just did it and didn't tell anybody he was playing hide and go seek or anything. He was just hiding. So kids do stuff. Yeah, I do too, Jelly Bean. I believe the footprints is key to this case, and I think it should be taken seriously. Now, we know law enforcement searched in a 5-mile radius of that area. It was very hot. We hit high heat index there, and so I just feel like she's right past there, right past that last part they searched, or something possibly. We don't know, or that she could have been taken. And if we speculate and say that she was abducted and walked by those hills, and in the back parts of those yards where somebody knew there wasn't trail cams, knew there was nothing, that they knew that area very well, and got to a place that they had a vehicle or something. That's a big deal and possibly could happen. No, you're welcome, Kim Holmes. Thank you. Patty Barnett, very true. Far too many child predators. Yet the footprints have not made a big deal of the print for some reason. Exactly, Susan Marshall. We don't understand why that guy got attacked. Well, I do understand why he got attacked so bad for when he came out talking about it. Because they already had public enemy number one in their crosshairs. And I think that's what's the problem is with trial by media and trial by the court of public opinion. It's a very crazy case, and there's a lot more things that need to be looked into. Yes, it's a fact that people that there is parents that have done things, and they have done things to children that are completely evil and wrong for no reason. But then there's cases that children do walk off and they walk away from their parents, or that they get. And let's speculate here and say that she did walk off, and say she was walking down and somebody grabbed her when she walked away from that property. Then there's no evidence of anything because she wasn't nowhere near the home. And kids can make it pretty far if they want to, if they run. That is a complete. Now, I said complete speculation on what I just talked about. Now, do we know that for a fact, Hannah Banana, that CPS was coming the next day? Because as far as I know, CPS doesn't tell people when they're going to come up and show up. Do we know that for a fact? That's like the person that put out that leaked information about if they're actually called DCS in Tennessee, and that's it. They referred to them as CPS on that. We don't know that that's proof. That's not proven. That's like the person that leaked that information, saying that that they had all this inside information with CPS. Nobody has that kind of ability, and I'm sure they're not going to put their job at risk for social media to leak something out. I would like to see those papers. I think there was a lot of things that proved that that was false. Yeah, if CPS was coming the next day from the 15th. That's very true, Helen Fackler. Then why didn't they take the boys that next day when they were coming? Why did they wait so long? Yes, see, yes, they do. They do make appointments. They do, Kim. They do make appointments, she said. Yes, they do make appointments. But when they're showing up to do something, like if they were showing up to take a child or do something like that, um, then they're not going to tell you they're coming to do it. And nobody has that information factually yet. I don't think any of that has ever been released. I haven't seen it. And do we know that a report was done? We don't. We don't know any of that information. I'm sure that there is people that whether there's Don and Candace that would know that. And I haven't heard any of that from them. We thank you, BVK. Thank you so much. That's very true. We have to go by facts. We have to go by what is released and what is factual. Okay. Okay, yeah, and we'll talk about. So, what were you? Here, I'm going to turn this a little bit so I can see. I'm sitting on the side of my bed with my green screen, legs going numb. Okay, like the morning sun. What you were talking about, what you want to talk about was the Billboard. I'll talk to that about that. I'll tell you what I know about it, and that's all I can tell you. I what I heard was that there was something to do with the church. I didn't have no involvement with that. We got the Billboard up with what donations we had from our channel. I think there was a dispute or something about the church, is what they said. I have no idea. You would have to ask 423 Chase about all that. I have no idea about that. We washed our hands from that after we did what we did. We got it up there, and when it showed, I have no idea about it. That would be a question for Lamar with the Billboard. Okay. Yeah, well, in Twister, we've talked about that. I think that what we know is how well they interviewed the tree company was, hey, do you know anything about this? Nope. And then that was, I think that was about it. And I think that they could be looked into more. Yeah, you can't believe all the rumors that are out there. We have to wait for factual evidence to come through. Let me see here. Mama Doss, that's very true. He said my arms are going numb, brother. Why? What's going on? Yeah, my my leg is numb sitting here. I'm trying to get in a good position here. I might have to turn this off real quick, or maybe I'll just twist it around so I can get. There we go. Okay. Thank you. Okay, Carla Z. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate you. Uh, she said my best friend works for CPS, the one to remove children from their home. They did not give them a warning. So, yeah, I mean, well, that's true. And I've never known them to give warnings about that. Nearly going on 6 months in law enforcement, I still have nothing. That's true. Do I belong to the same church as Don and Candace? No, I do not. My faith is non-denominational, is what I was raised in, which is a look into it. Non-denominational is it's almost more about the Pentecostal. I guess you would go with Pentecostal, and it's basically just it's straight Bible, King James Bible. I don't know how to explain non-denominational. It's not a denomination. Yes, Twister. That's what I heard too. They're moving the billboards. What I heard, and there's going to be multiple ones in Kingsport in 5 different locations or 4 different locations. I have been left out of the loop on that. I don't even know what's been going on. I haven't talked to 423 Chase or anybody about it. Mama Doss says it's a possibility that she walked off. She was an active child who didn't like to sit still. Add the footprints to it. Good possibility. And there is that good possibility to it. I do too, Jackie. They've been on this case since the private investigators took on this case. Like I said, that a lot of people didn't believe us about when we were talking about an actual private investigator group. They have been in here since the beginning. They took this case very close to the beginning of when Summer went missing, and they came in and took it pro bono and have really been working hard. Lucas Cottle, yeah, we have the same faith. Yeah, Queenie. Yeah, I don't go to church. I'm not a part of the SDA church. But Don has invited me, and I thought about going and checking it out with him. Let's see. And I think that gives it, and that should give it a lot of justice, and to be able to speak from somebody that has sat in the congregation through a uh, through a Saturday at church, that they believe the Sabbath is Saturday, and I believe that would give that I could answer a lot of questions about the church then, and to speak from somebody who's actually sat in the congregation. I thought about going there and checking out everything with that. I've been invited, and I would like to go visit and see. Yeah, exactly. They're holding their OHA too. They have to hold that. Um, okay, so I can't tell you what church I go to because I'm not going to give it Angela Van. But I will tell you that I went to a non-denominational church that I continue to go to, one here where I live. I was actually doing I was a lead substance abuse counselor for that church through a faith-based program called um, here, I'll get you the book real quick, and I'll show you everything that I've done. That way I don't have to explain it, I can show it. Give me 1 second. Sorry, I was muted. Okay, so this is my certificate of completion. I went through the groups myself when I was getting myself right and getting myself back together, and then I became a what they call is a okay, well, as a substance abuse counselor, I'm certified through that, but a facilitator of the groups through Living Free. and I have my certificate of that too. I was very proud of this, and it helped me to change my life, and it helped me to help change other people's lives. Uh, Sorry guys, I didn't mean to go unmuted. I muted it in case my kids came running in here yelling. But yeah, that group changed my life, and I continue to be a part of those groups when I can. What happened was I started working a job before COVID happened. I worked there for a year, and then COVID had started, and I lost my job due to COVID. But I had to step away from my groups for a while because of my job that I was working before COVID. I didn't have the time to facilitate those groups all the time. But I continue to try to be a part of that. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. Yeah, Natasha, and that's what I said. So before people, that's why I said that I would go and um sit in on a Saturday service at Dawn's church so that we can, and I'll tell exactly how the service went and everything. I think that's the only way to really give it justice. Yeah, Susan Marshall, not everybody is religious, and I don't believe that you have to be religious. It's a personal relationship with the Lord that changes people's lives. You don't have to go to church. You just need to fellowship around like-minded people, good people. You are the company that you keep. As long as you have a personal relationship with God, um, that you can change, uh, no matter where you've been in life. Once you have that relationship with God, you can change the way you live. That's a fact, guys. And you know what? We're going an hour and 26 minutes. That's okay. And that's okay. It's fine to be spiritual and not religious. You don't have to be bound by a religious label. It's all that matters is that when you pray, you repent for your sins. You try to change your life around. You have that personal relationship. When you pray, you talk to God like He's right there with you. He is your Father. Speak to Him like He's your Father. Talk to Him. It's not have to be a formal. It doesn't have to be a formal, uh, rehearsed prayer. You can talk to Him just like we sit here and talk right here. That's how lives are changed. Yeah, God can change anybody. It's a fact. Let me see here. Mama Doss. And I'm not saying Mama Doss, I'm not saying nothing. I'm saying the church has had a lot of people uh go down, come down hard on them. And I think it's the best way is to go if you really are interested in what somebody believes and what they feel, is to not judge from the outside, but to go have a seat in that congregation and listen on Sunday. Then you can go with how your heart feels and what you feel the Holy Spirit has led you to. If you feel that's not for you, then you make that decision then. Yeah, and we're gonna pray someone comes forward, Patty Barnett. That's for sure. We pray for that all the time. Yeah, that's right. Tennessee, but oh, thank you. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Tennessee Blonde. I appreciate that a lot. Yeah, we're trying, and we're not going to give up on her. Um, and what I'm going to do, guys. Thank you guys for being over here. I'm going to give y'all. I don't know who will be interested in it and who won't be, but I want to tell y'all my testimony one day on here. Maybe I can do that on a Sunday. I've been really feeling like doing that and bringing that, to be very transparent with all you guys with my whole life, and we'll talk about it. And I'm thinking about doing that for y'all, and just to tell you what brought me to doing things like this, to trying to help. That's right. That's true. That's right, and that's very true. But my belief is that's the way that helped me. Let's see. That's right, Kathy, and I believe that's I mean that's why I'm trying to go give a fair shake and to do things fairly with that church. Thank you, Diane Harlow. We appreciate that. Yeah, sweet tea and juice. I will. Thank you. Tennessee Blonde said I'll be here when you do. Yeah, I want to talk to that. I want to tell y'all my testimony. I thought about even doing it today, but I don't think anybody has the time to listen to that today. I could do it right now. I could just give you a basic rundown while I have time today. Just a little bit of it. All right, so I'll see what everybody says real quick, and then we'll see where we go with it. We always have time for you. I appreciate that. I'm listening, Jamie. Y'all guys are awesome. I love y'all, and y'all have been supportive of us in this channel since the beginning, and I appreciate it so much. And we try to bring you good stuff. That's true, Natasha, and that's very good. People need to understand it's not the churches who make bad people. It's the person who makes the bad choices. That's very true. Now, there is cases that of different congregations and people that have come together and caused cult like behavior and led. Now we've seen cases of that through history. That there is people that will lead people that are down down a hole that is very dark, and nobody can, because they were a person of influence and they led people to uh, Jim Jones. Let's talk about, people know about Jim Jones, and talk about Heaven's Gate and those people that have done those things. It's a personal relationship. That's right. That's rotary dial. That's very good. That's a good way to put it. It's what I choose. It's what we choose to believe, and nobody's saying this is my thing that made me really open my eyes. I would rather believe in God and believe in the Bible and die and find out that all of it was not real than to not believe my whole life and have no faith and not do what I'm supposed to do, and then come to the end of my days and realize he is real and have to answer for that. That was a hard one that I had to answer for, like had to swallow when I was going through changing my life. Jamie, that's awesome that you can say that. I shouldn't have put that up there, but that you can say that because we all are not perfect. We fall short of the glory of God every day. Okay, I'll tell y'all a little bit. I'll tell y'all my testimony. Let me crack this door real quick. So I've got to be careful with my kids. Guys, are y'all okay for a minute? Hey, you okay? You okay? Okay, I'll be done in just a second, okay? This live, I'm finishing it right now, and I'll be out in just a minute. All right, love you. Okay, guys. Let's see here. All right, so where do we start here? All right, so when I grew up in a okay, so my dad, my biological dad, I never knew till I was 16 years old. Didn't even know that I had another father than the one who had raised me. My mom had me when I was very young, and she went to the military, and I was raised taken care of while my mom was in the military, in the Army, till I was about a year old. My mom got out of the military, met the guy that she married, the man that I call my father, who has been my father, who has taught me right and wrong and gave me a better life. He adopted me. Um, his parents were pharmacists and they were well to do. They were very well off, and I was raised in church and in a non-denominational church. Was taught right, knew what I was supposed to know, was ask Jesus to be in my life at a young age. But I felt like I understood it. That I think I was 7 years old, and I asked Mom. I said, "Yeah, I want to ask Jesus into my heart," but I didn't really realize. I mean, I feel like that's something that you need to do again as you get older and you start dealing with life, and then you really have to give your life to God. But so I we lived in Charlotte, North Carolina, and Fairfax County, Virginia. We lived in Fairfax County, Virginia. Then we moved to Charlotte, North Carolina, and we moved back. My dad was a graduate of Virginia Tech and Bluefield State. This is the guy that adopted me that I'm talking about. So he was vice president of big companies like Tysinger Hampton. Um, yeah, KJD, Celebrate Recovery. I did a lot with them too, but Living Free is the program that saved my life. But we'll get to that. So he had us move to places where he was vice president and president of these companies, environmental engineering. Well, he had a substance abuse program or problem, not program, problem that he had been dealing with through the whole time that he was with uh, my mom, and we had moved back to Virginia, and I was about 10 when we moved back, and 12 when my mom and dad divorced, and because of his addiction issues, and he was trying to start his own company, and it wasn't going good for him. When I found out about all this, I didn't know that any of this even existed. I thought I had a perfect childhood growing up and everything. Uh, then we get so me, I was, my mom and dad separated when I was 12. When I was 14 years old, me and my mom got hit by a tandem coal truck coming home from school shopping. I was supposed to go to a birthday party. I was put into a coma for 2 weeks. I broke my hip. It twisted my leg completely around. It put my mom into a coma, and she had the mind of about a 6-year-old for for close to 2.5 years, and she had to go through rehabilitation. She still has problems with that. Uh, well, then, Braden the fourth, if you don't give a F, then go out of here. Thank you. So, um, that's basically when my life started changing. The doctors put me on lots of pain medicine because of my problems I had from that car wreck. My mom too. She came out a different person. Yeah. If we have any, Natasha, if you're in here, can you get rid of some people, please? So I went down a path after that. It changed my whole spectrum of how I was being raised. My mom changed. She got with somebody else. Um, at 16, I found out that my dad was not my biological dad. All that happened. Uh, I went down a path that was full of drugs and getting in trouble. Um, my mom got with a man who he was very sneaky and conniving, and he had me incarcerated at 12 years old. I had to grow well, not at 12, sorry, at 14 when she got with him when my mom and dad divorced. That's why they divorced. Let me go back to that. So right at 12, he had me locked up in juvenile detention the first time. And then at 14, we got in that car wreck. I changed when I come out of that coma. I think a blunt force head trauma changed me a lot. I had a lot of anger problems when I came out of that. Uh, so I became an angry child, and I went down a path that was not good. and I got on drugs really bad and did a lot of crazy things. So when I was 18, there was a company called JG Wentworth, and I got all this money from a settlement that I from that car wreck, and I sold my settlement from getting hit by that tandem coal truck, and I just took off and did spend all this money. I, I sold 178,000 when I was supposed to be 28 for 75 grand when I was 18, because it was the interest it builds over years, and I sold it for what it was worth. Um, so I just taken off, and I said, I didn't expect to live. I was doing lots of drugs. But my mom was on so many high prescriptions, Oxy 80s and stuff like that. So there was no shortage of drugs around. Um, I became addicted, like I said, very young, and it just grew from there, and it was a spiral. I started, getting in trouble, like I said, and I was in trouble for DUIs after 18 when I took this money and I went across the United States just blowing money every which way I could. And it got really bad, and I was in a real bad downward spiral. Uh, we so I my mom ended up getting put in prison for distribution of narcotics when I was 23, and I had my own problems with DUIs then and was in and out of jail. So, I was dealing with a lot, and I didn't care if I lived or died at that time. I was going through a lot of depression issues and didn't care. Like I said, I didn't care. I was pretty much seeing how much I could do before it would kill me. Um, so I came from a really bad addiction problem, and I was in actually a detox center to run away from trouble, because they said if I went to rehab that I could get away from a violation that I was dealing with at that time, violation of probation. And I went into this detox center because they have a temporary, it's called you can be TDO, temporary detention order, where law enforcement can't come and pick you up if you're in treatment. So I thought I would run there. I got out of that violation when I was in that detox center. I met my wife, Allison. She was a nurse in clinicals at that time. She completely changed my life. Uh, it didn't happen overnight. She put up with me for a while. And thank you, Ambery. I'm trying to be very transparent with you guys, because this is what people come from, and this is what happens. And people can say, I don't give a F. I saw that, and I would gladly, back in the day, sir, I would probably cuss them right back out. But I'm not that way anymore. So I want to tell you what. Yeah, so I met my wife. I didn't, like I said, didn't have nothing to live for. I didn't care about life. Um, I saw her. I used some corny pickup line like, "Why don't you give me your phone number when you write my blood pressure down?" It worked. Um, so I was actually living in a motel because my mom at this time had just got put in prison. Like I was saying, uh, she heard me stand in the middle of that motel room and cuss God and scream at God and blame God for my life. Uh, by the grace of God, I was arrested for another violation of probation, which saved my life. I stayed out of trouble for a good majority of time after I got out from that violation of probation. She waited for me for 3 months. I cleaned my life up. Um, while I was in there, I took the means to try to straighten up, and I got out. Allison had us an apartment, and I changed my life then. We got she got pregnant with our son, and things were going really good. And then she got pregnant with my daughter right after, and I fell into another short spiral right when she was born. Um, she's 6 years old now. I've been now I'm going on over 5 years, almost six, of sobriety now. But I hit another spiral right when she was born. I felt like I wasn't good enough to take care of this family at that time, and I tried to run away from it and run back into drugs again. And I started doing the wrong thing and started trying to run from my problems again. And we, by the grace of God, I got caught with a firearm because I was doing stupid stuff again. I got caught with a firearm by a nonviolent felon because I became a felon when I was younger over 3 DUIs. That's what made me a convicted felon. Uh, so when I got caught with that firearm, I went to jail and I said, God, if you're there, I need you now more than ever. I said I need a sign because it was either me going to sit in that jail cell and let the devil take me over and become a better criminal, or become a better person and change my life. So I gave my whole heart to God then, and I started wanting to reach out and help other people that were going through the issues that I had, and it worked. It became a niche for me, and it was my that's what I ended up wanting to do with my life. So I became that a certified substance abuse counselor. I covered any and everything that I could. I went and got every certification I could. I was almost going to be working for a um, like, I don't know what y'all have in your areas, but it's a community services place. Um, Here where we live, I was offered a job through them. I turned it down to go for a higher paying job. I wish I didn't. I wish I would have went to work for them. But I mean, all things happen for a reason. Uh, I feel like, and then God led us to be trying to, be a part of this. My wife has stood by me and been a rock in my life. She was there for me when nobody else was, and so I wanted to be open with you guys, and I wanted you to know about me 100%. And I know that you do things when God puts it on your heart, and I'm sorry that, yeah, I'll give you more details as we go sometimes, but I'll go through back to the part out now. Everybody know that I was a victim of SA when I was younger. Um, so when I was younger, my dad was dealing with substance abuse problems. My adopted father. Um, I know I jump around a lot, so I hope you guys can keep up with me. So this was before anybody knew. Thank you, Natasha. I appreciate that a lot. So uh, my dad, nobody knew, and he would take me and my brothers sometimes places, and we would have to sit either in the car, but we didn't know what he was doing. But we went to this guy's house, and we were supposed to play with their kids, and dad left to go do whatever he was doing, and the guy tried to uh, SA me and my little brother, and I took the brunt of it at a young age. That's what happened with that. That's the story. I protected my younger brother. I didn't know that that my brother even would remember it, but uh, he is 3 years younger than me. I am 35 in December, and he told me one time, I think it was about 2 years ago. He said, "I just want to tell you thank you," and I said, "Thank you for what, man?" He said, "You know what I'm talking about." So he realized he had held on to that and knew what had happened that day, and that changed a lot in my life. That's not easy to do, is to come out here and tell people, but I don't want anybody to be able to throw anything up in my face and to say anything. I know where I came from. I know the life that I came out of, and I know what I've done to make a difference. So it is what it is, and this is I want to be a testimony and proof that people can change their life, and you can come out of the ashes and do better. You can leave the old person is dead. You're a new creation in Christ. That's what I tell everybody. I don't go under the label as a recovering addict like some people would like you to believe you are. You're a new creation in Christ when you let God change you from the inside out. To talk about my father now, my biological father, when I found out he was that he was actually my biological father. I have two other brothers that are through him. One who passed away from an overdose in 2020. He was 1 year younger than me. I have another brother who is who lives in North Carolina. Hold on one second. I'm sorry, guys. I have another brother who lives in North Carolina that and he is from my biological father. My biological father passed away in 2000 and he was 48 years old. We didn't have much of a relationship, but he passed away with 48 years old from lung cancer. Um and it's but this is the thing, you can either let those you can live with that chip on your shoulder and you can be angry at the world and hate God, or you can change it and you can forgive and you can move on. And that's why I want people to know that maybe sometimes that I do stand up for the underdog before evidence. uh you know let's let the evidence point us in the direction before we completely bash somebody. I think that's important. um that's and guys, I went over the short version of what happened to me. I tried to summarize it. There's a lot more in those details through those years that I went through, but I wanted y'all to know about who I am and what I'm about, what I stand for, and and what anybody else can do out there. When we pray for you, we pray from a place. Me and my wife, when we pray from a place that is we understand of understanding and knowing that people go through hard times, and sometimes it's not by choice, sometimes it is by choice. Sometimes people choose to go back to that life and that's the only life they want to live, and then there's people that do make a difference and change and come out of a life of addiction and can do something amazing with their life. And it's all about when you're ready, and when you say nobody can force you to change your life, you have to be the one that makes that call in your heart. uh Guys, I hope y'all, I'm sorry about that. I had to get that off my chest, y'all. I've just watched the way that social media works, and I was like, if that's what it's about, I came into this being an open book. If you followed me since the beginning, um, that's the reason why, because you have to be. You, you know, just don't let your past define you. And God has blessed us through this journey of, even in the few months that we've been on social media, we've been able to be a part of helping that girl at Lexi Dykes with her Amber Alert. Um, I don't know where she's at this point in time. I hope she's not still incarcerated or in a juvenile detention center, but we haven't heard from her. Moonmate Heather. I'm sorry, guys, if I missed anything. Let me see if I can read. I was just talking, not paying attention. And that's, I hope that my testimony can show you that people can change, and and show that people, you can make a difference in this world regardless of people telling you you're not nothing and you'll never be nothing and you'll never amount to nothing. That's a lie. That's a lie from the enemy, and he wants you to believe that. He wants you to believe that you're nothing and that you'll never do nothing or accomplish anything. And there's people out there that are tools of the devil that would want you to believe that by throwing your past up in your face all the time. And that's not uh, that's not true. That's those are all lies. He is the great deceiver. He will deceive you into believing that you will never be anything. And I want to tell you right now that that's a lie. 100% that's a lie. Yeah, that's awesome, and that's a testimony too in itself, Music City Mom. If you've never had to go through any of those things, then consider yourself, that's a testimony in itself that you were able to have the willpower to stay away from those things. Thank you, Jackie. Guys, thank y'all for being awesome. Thank y'all for coming over here on this channel and listening to me rant. You know that it is what it is. Either you stand behind people that they're trying. No, Diane Harlow. My mom, actually, I want to speak out for her too, Diane Harlow. My mom is not still in prison. My mom came out of prison and changed her life completely too. Uh, Me and my wife could never be more prouder of her than what she has done. She has accomplished so much. She has been sober since she went to prison, and when I was 23, 24, I am 30. She has been sober over 13 years, 14 years. When is that? Let's see. Let me count that up. Let me see here. Let me make sure I count that right. My math skills are not on point, as you can see. That is not my strong suit. 11 years. So yeah, that's right, Cryptiville. That's true. Testimony isn't a rant. Testimony is talking how you have been set free. That's very true. Thank you for saying that, and I appreciate you for coming over from the other channel that we were on and supporting us. I appreciate it a whole lot. Yeah, me too. I have lost definitely a lot of brain cells over the years, and my math is not my strong suit, but I try. My memory was good at one point. But this, and I will tell you how this can help with things. I can see things through these cases that a lot of people can't see. I can see it from both sides of the fence. I have been locked up with people that have done worst of the worst bad things, and you read people very well. And then had the pleasure of being around a lot of people that are involved in law enforcement that have accepted where I came from and patted me on the back and said thank you. Uh, thank you for showing us that people can change. I've actually had law enforcement tell me that, and that makes me prouder than anything in this world. Is to have people in that job say that I am a living example that people can change and they can do better. Uh, and I've made it an oath to my babies and to my wife that I will never go back to that life ever again. Um, there's nothing there. There's so much more to live for and to be happy about. Yes, these cases are bad, but when you bring those kids home and you can be a part of seeing those kids come home, that's amazing. Oh, thank you, Jackie, Ohio. Thank you for coming over from Hidden Existence. Thank you all you guys for coming over here. We appreciate you. Oh, thank you, Rita. We love you guys too, and we appreciate you. And we pay attention to whose names are in there in the comments. We see you guys, and we try to answer back to all y'all. And your yeah, that's right. Persephones. Am I saying that right? Pomegranate. You did that on purpose, so I couldn't say it. Yes, it's more rewarding now, than a million times more than it could ever be. And if Allison's in here, I thought I saw her a second ago. No, she's not. But you get to see things from both sides of the fence, and I have to say something to the private investigators. I told them my testimony, and we became closer through that. Uh, they're awesome people. They have not judged me. Um, they've been great to us. They see, and there's people you can tell who who fake it to make it, and there's people who walk it what they talk. And I'm glad that I can say that I feel like I'm one of those people. Clean, not mean, but I may be both. Let's see here. That's awesome. Yeah, I saw what you said, Twister. That's awesome. Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate all you guys, and I wanted to yeah, it is Rotary Dial. Sober laughter is bliss. Thank you guys, man. You guys are awesome. I really am proud that I got to come on here and talk to you guys about all this. Hold on, my computer's gonna die. No, no, no. Don't you die, don't you die. Bingo, saved it. Okay. Yeah, thank you guys. And I wanted, if you guys just came in late, uh, Allison does. She's my biggest fan. She congratulates me every day. She has a timer every month that goes off. She keeps a counter of how long it's been. Oh, Sarah Holt, did I skip your comment? I'm sorry. Let me go back and find it. I've been trying to catch. I try to. Oh, okay. She is my angel for sure. There it is. Thank you. And there is a lot of people that can't shake it. But I think if we have more people, this is what I believe that would help our communities. Oh, thank you so much. Hidden Existence came over here. Thank you so much, and I really appreciated you letting me come on your stream the other night. I thought that was a great show. Daniela is awesome. Y'all go check her out. Her live streams are good. Um, so I think this would help our communities a lot more if we put people that are trying to make a difference, and if we had a program that gave them jobs and made them feel like part of and equal to our communities, that they wouldn't feel so sheltered away and like they're less than. I know that we put ourselves in a position when we do things to be less than through our addictions and our problems. Now I know that people do put there, but I feel like there is a country. I'll tell you this right now. Uh, so is it Paraguay or is it in what country is it that they started they decriminalized everything, but when somebody gets in trouble for addiction, they put them in a position that they put them in a rehab, they detox them, and they can't put them in a job and give them some self-respect about themselves. They help them get a home, help them get a job, and then they don't turn back to those old behaviors because they feel like they're part of their communities and feel like they're equal to and that they can make a difference. I think that's awesome. I'm not saying it's perfect and that we can get to that, but it would be something that would be helpful, I think. Yeah, Paula Rogers, it's a downward spiral. There's a lot. And just because we're true crime and we're in true crime doesn't mean that we can't talk about successes. For last time I checked, my channel can be whatever I want it to be. So we'll spend time over here and we'll talk about things from personal gains and personal accomplishments to cases to whatever you want to talk about. Portugal. That's it, Jessica and Brandon. Thank you so much. Portugal is that country that did that. They stopped treating people like they were less than, and they made them become. And their success rate of people not what's it called? In prison they call it the reoffending scale, but the people that will fall back into a life of addiction, I think they're once their success rate's like 98% that people don't go back into that lifestyle. I just looking at statistics like we should uh, with the facts and everything we do on true crime too. Yeah, that's right. Allison Conley, what prison does for a drug addict, and especially if they now, okay, now if you're out here straight trafficking um, substances in large amounts just for cash and for gain and polluting our cities, now that there's a difference. But people that have addiction problems that get caught with small amounts, I think that there should be a rehab uh, that they go to instead of jail, because when you go to prison, you become a better criminal. You learn from seasoned criminals, and either you make that choice to either. Now, in my situation, I chose that I didn't want to go there. Jail helped me because I was looking at some time, and I decided that I wanted to be with my family more than I wanted to live that lifestyle, and it changed my life. Now, that does help people if it scares them enough, but some people don't care. But if you put them in a situation with addiction, that they might be able to go to a rehab first, and then if they don't learn their lesson then, and maybe then go into a community living, like Teen Challenge is a great program. Teen Challenge is a very, if you haven't heard of it in America, and Teen Challenge is a huge asset to helping people change their lives. That was an option for me, and it happened. Uh, yeah, that's the reoffending. Yeah, thank you. That was an option for me, and thank God I didn't have to go do it. I followed up more outpatient than inpatient. I went to the places I had to go to. I was only required to go to one meeting a week. I went to 3 and 4 and 5 sometimes a week to make sure that I would stay busy, and that I had no idle time, because idle hands is the devil's playground, right? We got to know that. Yeah, Heather from 808 State. That's true. A lot of people come out like that. Okay, Brenda K. Shelby, I will answer that. I think the FBI card team is still involved from a distance in Summer's case. They are still working on it. I don't think that they have a main office in every state. The feds do, and so I believe they're very close involved in keeping an eye on that case. But I don't know how far, as far as being out. I know that the card team is still involved. Okay, let me see here. Let me see here. I'm gonna answer some more. Oh, you remember Team Challenge? Big Pharma is the cause of Pamex addictions. Google and research. It is, but then people that they usually progresses. People, a lot of the thing now is, and it's a scary thing, is a lot of people are addicted to I can't say the name of it on here, but addicted to the the equivalent of its street opiate, if you know what I mean. Uh, that they are now. It's not. I can't really say it because I'm not allowed to say it on the platform. But if you know what I'm saying, it's that things that people are getting off the street, and it's very deadly right now. And yes, Finn, that's exactly what I'm talking about right there. And they're calling it H, and yeah, that's and it's dropping people like flies. Sorry, did I miss something? My son's friend. Oh my gosh, fragile. My brother that I was talking about that just passed away last year, it was the day after um I feel for you. That's exactly what my brother passed away from. I'm so sorry to hear that. Kensington, I have it's my I have a lot, I know people there. I'm so sorry to hear that. See this right here, a lot of people here. Oh, Long Beach hippies, methadone clinic, getting baptized and giving my life to the Lord, new friends, new lifestyle, etc. got me sober, 7 years sober, and I raised my special needs daughter by myself. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. That's what matters right there. You know what? We'll do a couple hour live long stream, but these are the things that matter. And we were going to do a show with just people's testimonies. If y'all remember, if you've been following my channel for a while, we tried that one for a while, and a few people didn't come up, but I had an open panel, and Lean on Me came up and told her story of what she had accomplished and the life she came from. That's what matters. People that are overcoming and fragile. We will pray for him at the end of this. Let me make sure who it was again. Your son's friend. Okay. Yes, Brenda was here. That's exactly. Teen Challenge was started by David Wilkerson. Amazing man. Amazing program. Yeah, she's awesome, Susan Marshall. Let's see here. Oh, it's just, I love you, dude. You're the type of people I have in my life. Thank you. And what kind of people I want over here on this channel? People that can relate. And we don't judge you. Even if you're going through problems right now and you're over here, if you're going through issues right now, I'll never judge you. It's how you pick yourself up. And even though you might fail tomorrow, if you say you're changing your life and you fail tomorrow and you fall short, pick yourself back up by your bootstraps and dust yourself off and say, it's okay, we all mess up. And then you go from that day and go as long as you can. And if you mess up again, give it to Lord and say, I'm God, I messed up again. I'm trying so hard. It's always trying to do better and learning from the mistakes you made that made you maybe fall short again, getting around the wrong people. You have 3 seconds. 7 seconds rule is what it is. I cut mine down to 3 seconds. You have a 7-second rule. You have 7 seconds to walk away from that situation that would tempt you, make you falter, make you fall off your sobriety. You have 7 seconds. Cut it down to 3. How much is a loved one to take? Now I understand that that loved ones can only deal with so much, and that they have to love from a distance sometimes, because I pushed a lot of my family away. They, you know, sometimes you have to love them from a distance till they feel ready to change, because you can't change anybody until they're ready. Even if they're saying the right things all the time, sometimes they're not always ready to change. That has to be a personal decision in your life, for sure. Let's see here. Fraser, we'll pray for you when we get off here. Yeah, I will never judge anybody just because that I'm sober now and nobody, that somebody else isn't. It's our job to reach out and help lift our brothers and sisters up in Christ, not judge them, not when they walk in the church and might not look like everybody else does. It's our job to go and put your arm around that person and show it and say, look, I don't know where you're coming from, but thank you for being here. If there's anything I can do to help. When do Sunday mornings with Cam start? Very soon, hopefully. Oh, Long Beach Hippies slideshow says we're gonna start doing. Maybe I'll start doing that on Sunday mornings to help people that maybe don't go. Maybe we can start doing something like that. That's awesome. That's right. We rise by lifting others up. That's true. Guys, I'm gonna pray and we'll hop off here. This has been a long one. I got to get in here to my kids. They've been very patient and they've been very good throughout while I did that, and I felt like God put that on my heart tonight to share that with you. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Some people obviously didn't. That's okay. If you don't have haters, you're not doing something right. So that's okay. But we'll yeah, that's right. It's not our job to judge people. It's our job to reach out and understand more of where the problem's coming from. And we're all guilty of judging people. We're all guilty of walking by somebody that doesn't look the way we feel like they need to look, and or doesn't act the way we feel like they need to act. I've been guilty of it, even in the situations I've been in, and it's we need to be careful when we become out of those lifestyles of addiction, that we can remember where we came from. Don't forget where you came from. Don't forget where you've been, and always lift somebody up. That's for sure. I've been guilty of it, and I've had to catch myself and turn around and say, you know what, I was wrong. I was wrong for thinking that about that person. Until the next time, that's true. Let's pray real quick, guys. We'll get out of here. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for everything that you do in our lives, Lord. Thank you for being able to have this opportunity to get out and speak to people and them feel comfortable to talk about their situations on this platform. Lord, we ask that if anybody has information for Summer's case, to let them come forward, let them speak out, and let them not be afraid. And to help this little girl come home, Lord, we ask that you put a hedge of protection around her. Lord, we ask that you put a hedge of protection around every child that is missing right now, and let there be people that will reach out and help those families to bring these kids home and bring answers to it. Lord, we ask that you keep Michael Vaughn safe and put a hedge of protection around him, put a hedge of protection around Tegan. Again, with a hedge of protection around Summer. Lord, we lift up Fragile's the subscribers that her son friend died on Thanksgiving from a accidental overdose. Lord, we pray that you just put peace in that family's heart. Lord, let this and just let some understanding to maybe pay for us to look at our children and the people around us and know that they can be taken from us in an instance due to our own choices we make, or the choices sometimes that we don't even know that we're doing, Lord, because we're not guaranteed the breath in our lungs tomorrow. Regardless of the lifestyle we live, we're not guaranteed tomorrow. So let's love one another, Lord. Let's have an open heart to reach out to each and every person, and to share our testimony with the world, and maybe help other people out there, Lord. Let us all be better people tomorrow than we were today. God, thank you for everything you do in each one of our lives, and bless anybody that has a prayer request on here that I might have missed tonight. And we just ask for a peace in everybody's hearts to be able to move forward in this life. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Thank you, guys. I appreciate all of you, and I really do. I love each and every one of you guys, and I hope that y'all are that y'all enjoyed what I did today. I know it was kind of off kilter, and it was Freestyle Friday, so we could do whatever we want, right? So let's see here. Remember, at the end of the day, everybody wants justice, but justice doesn't have to be carried out with hate. We will see you guys on the next one. If you want to check out Hidden Existence tonight at 10, I'm going to be over there. Or is it on Bigfoot Odyssey or Hidden Existence? One of those channels. Check them out. I'll be over there at 10 tonight, Eastern Standard Time, 9 o'clock Central Time. But I love you guys, and I will catch you on the next one. We'll talk to you later.